LinkedIn is really, really powerful right now. I wanted to neglect it about a year ago. X is where you're going to get that meteoric viral growth, almost like the Wild West. And LinkedIn is where you're going to get that really predictable, solid, consistent growth. If I have an account with 100K on Twitter and 10K on LinkedIn, like they're going to gain 500 to 1,000 followers on LinkedIn every single month on autopilot with like 5 posts a week. LinkedIn has been a bigger and bigger growth for our clients in terms of brand and sales. In terms of performance, we're seeing some like minor virality now. They're doing again the video testing, the short form video page. It's in beta, so
Hmm.
I can see everyone kind of taking a page out of the X playbook now, with more resources, so they're able to kind of
Do
execute
you,
faster. So it's really interesting.
do you post very different on those platforms?
So it depends
Or
on
you
the
post the same
person.
stuff?
No, it's definitely not the same stuff. So like for me I use a tool called like Hype Fury, and I'm able to post like manage all my posts there. And there's a little button that you can essentially change the context of the post if for LinkedIn. So for example, I won't post any of my super personal or casual tweets on LinkedIn. I'll keep it pretty professional. And in addition, I also will change up the context of my post so it's never direct. So for example, on X, I might say, if you want to grow, you can on this platform, you can do this. Whereas on LinkedIn, it'd be if you want to grow on Twitter, do this. So it's kind of like I always change the context, but I definitely keep it more professional. Most of our clients are going to have much more professional content on LinkedIn. Versus Twitter might be a bit more casual, a bit more loose. And I think that's just the nature of the person consuming it.
Culture.
The average person scrolling LinkedIn is probably sitting either at their job or looking for a job, or like the context of why they open that app's different.
Yeah, it seems like it's just for account development reps, like they just want to go through and find the titles and just cold DM people. Like that's what's kind of I feel like a little bit of the turnoff on LinkedIn for me.
Mhm.
How would somebody use that though in a really good way that isn't, they're either looking for a job, they're looking to hire somebody, or they're trying to make sales.
Right. And I'm starting to see more and more people consume as just a consumer on that platform. But I think the caveat is that the person that's consuming is also maybe open to looking for a job, hiring, make sales. I think LinkedIn themselves are making the transition to trying to be a content-based platform, hence the video stuff. But I think that is their uphill battle is the sales stuff. You log into LinkedIn, you're gonna get a bunch of connection requests and in-mail
Yeah,
sales,
yeah.
and you have to like go through all those notifications. It's hard. I don't. I'm interested to see what they do, but they are pushing to be a content first platform. They're even giving creators, these top entrepreneur voice, top branding voice badges under their thing. You could change your profile to a creator profile. So they're very obviously pushing for creators to create there. But changing the context in which people open the app is going to take time.
So
Hmm.
if somebody's just getting started, let's say that they're on, Instagram, they're on Facebook, they're doing all this stuff. What would you suggest that they do? Maybe let's go back to Twitter. Like, how would they start? Maybe they don't have an account, or maybe they haven't done anything. What's the best way for them to start getting more followers, get some virality? What are the things that worked for you? What would you suggest?
Right. So if you're going in it solo dolo, you need to start the account, set up the profile. I always say like who you are, what you've done, what you've accomplished. Your bio should handle that. Nice picture, etc. Get your profile set up, and then immediately start networking with people in your niche. Follow them, reply to their tweets. DM a couple of them. I highly recommend jumping on some spaces. That's how you're really going to get those first few hundred followers. Then from there, the content becomes more of an important factor, because then you'll have actual followers who are going to care about what you post. And by the nature of the algorithm, it's not at a healthy spot like TikTok where you can come in with 0 followers, post and get traction. Maybe you'd have to get very lucky. It's possible, but it's not something I'd rely on as from a business perspective who's investing resources. So that's your playbook for the first few hundred. Then you can start posting content in conjunction with that, and that's how you're going to slowly get engagement and traction, and start to get virality.
Yeah. Back to because you had a great answer to Chris's question around what can they do to start gaining traction on the Twitter platform. And let's drill in on a specific. And the first person that comes to my mind is our friend Joel, who we just interviewed before you and I, the three of us hopped on here, and he's in the men's coaching space, specifically targeting married men who are professionals that, are how else would you phrase that, Chris? Trying to be better
Yeah, he's trying to
professionals, better
help. Yeah,
husbands.
exactly. Husbands, fathers. Yeah.
Yeah, just men's coaching. So if he is starting on Twitter for the first time, you would suggest that maybe he targets top people that his clients would be following, set post notifications so that he's responding to tweets in a timely manner. Because essentially, like, if I'm following, I'm a huge football person, like Adam Schefter on Twitter or something like that, and I have post notifications set up and I respond quick to one of his tweets, I'm going to get a ton of impressions because I'm the first person that's like underneath his tweet, right? Would you suggest, is that what you mean by,
Yeah.
I think I described that correctly.
Yeah, that's like that's some good, that's like a funnel hacker mindset right there. That is absolutely a great tip. I personally, yeah, if we're getting
Yeah.
we're getting super practical. I'm even subscribed. I pay $5 a month to subscribe to people like Mr. Beast and Elon Musk, so that if I do, and I have his post notifications on. So sometimes when I'm just scrolling and I see, oh, Elon Musk tweet, if there's something I can think of that's either clever or adds value, I'll tweet it right away because I'm going straight to the top. One, if you're premium, if you pay for like the verification, you're getting reply priority. Two, if you're a subscriber to that person, you get maximum reply priority. And yes, you're going to get a bunch of free impressions like that. I've had some Elon Musk replies that have gotten, hundreds of likes and stuff like that. So that is great. I definitely recommend that for like, for example, him, that it's a huge niche on X. So I can already think off the top of my head, guys like Save Your Sons, who is one of the biggest kind of men's coaching, father coaching. I think they had a company called like Father Eyes. He has 500, 600,000 followers. So that's a person he should
Yeah.
be engaging with, joining his spaces, replying to his stuff, and publishing content in his niche, so that when he gets that reply priority, he gets 5,000, 6,000 views on his reply. People are clicking his profile. Maybe it's a 1 or 5% conversion. You're getting 50 to 100 profile views on just that one reply. And now people are coming to your profile. If they see content, they see a good profile, and you're putting out stuff they want, you're going to get some followers. And it just keeps compounding that way. Same thing with spaces. You come onto these, for those who don't know, spaces is essentially Clubhouse. It's just talking to each other live. So you join these live spaces, you get up on stage to talk, and you start talking. And if you're saying good stuff, people are going to follow you. So it's the same. Those are probably the two most effective and the two most no follower friendly growth hacks. Content
Is retweeting still a thing?
Retweeting it's reposting now. Let's get political.
Yep. I'm the
It's a
old guy
suite.
in the room.
Yeah, it's an X suite.
Yeah.
Yeah, reposting is still a thing. If you can get reposted by some of these accounts, that is a great way to get traction. Obviously you'd have to, earn that repost. Practical tips, since we're getting into the funnel hacking. When I started, I would mention some of these, I call them the Dream 50, the Dream 100 is what like a lot of people call it. It's essentially the 50 to 100 accounts that you want to be like, or that are, at the top of your niche. I would start mentioning these accounts and writing threads about them and stuff like that. And the occasional time they'll see the thread, they think it's cool, they'll retweet it, because it puts them on a pedestal. So that's another great way to get a great way to get retweeted by these accounts or get noticed by these accounts. Because one retweet from one of these, like for example, for Joel, one retweet from Save Your Sons on a really good post could change his life.
Yeah.
It could, he'll get if he gets millions of views on that, I mean, it's liftoff. So reposting is still very powerful, or quoting, or even replying. You're going to get boosted on any of that.
Dude, that's sweet. Even like people that are looking to get started using those two things to start to grow their brand. And really from there, I mean, it's kind of liftoff. But again, it's all, the content, and it's the water cooler of the world, right? Entering the conversation and being where people are. So with these platforms that are, a little bit quote unquote newer, sometimes my YouTube commenters yell at me when I say it's new, but I'm talking about X, not Twitter. But for these newer platforms, a lot of times it's not as cut and dry as, a 2 billion, 3 billion user platform like TikTok, Instagram, where it's just make your profile, post reels, go viral. It's not like that with these newer platforms. If you want to get the benefit of being early, you kind of have to get into these like funnel hacker mindset. So it's risk reward. You play the game with these newer platforms, but you can, the reward is massive, and it's different than like a TikTok where you're only as good as your next TikTok, right?